Well, hello traders. This is Art Dill for FuturesTradingCompany.net and a recap of our trading for February 10th, 2012. Had a very odd day of trading for us. We went 2, 2, and 3. 2 wins, 2 losses, 3 break-even trades. A total of minus 8 points during the morning and day session. I had 1, 0, and 1 on the Globex for plus 41 points last night. And let me show you those trades first. As most of you know now, I do trade the Globex at night, most nights. And let me just, this is the chart I use when I trade at night. It's the 5-period range bar chart. And what I'm looking to do is to, in this case I was taking shorts. This was a break of this bar. This is the second bar short with the Hall moving average in the same direction. So we got short at 12,814. We got 7 points on side here, 12,807, and I actually brought my stop to break even, and then I got stopped out at break even on that trade. So I'm waiting for another trade. I would have gone long here, but did not get a trigger. And this is again, the second bar would have been short at 12,807, but it price moved right away from there. Then 2 more bars to the downside here, along with a trigger, and I got short at 12,809 right here. I took one off at 12,802, then the other one off at 12,794, which was 15 points, so 7 and 15. And then I went to bed. I put on a 15-point trailing stop and got up this morning, and I'd been stopped out at 12,790 on that last contract, plus 19. So a total of plus 41 points. Had you stayed up to trade, there was another great trade after you'd gotten stopped out there, right here, along at 12,786, and you have gotten 96. You would have gotten 2 targets real easily on that trade. So I was showing the members in the room today how much at during the Globex session at night after the European market opens, how oftentimes the market will trend in one direction for quite a while. I'll go over the trades real quickly that I did take today. I actually took this trade pre-market. This was at 8:08 Eastern Time, 6:08 here on the West Coast. We got long at 12,852. That was at 6:08. And after we'd been in the trade a couple of minutes and it didn't appear to be going anywhere, I exited that trade at break even. But as you can see, had I stuck with it, it got 12,867 total. Took that with only one contract, by the way, so break even on that trade. Sorry, I was drawing the trend line here. This is where I took the next trade. Uh, and it was a trigger entry and a break of this pivot right here, 12,853. Only took that again with one contract, and we got 860. The high of the move was 862, and I took 7 points and was out of that trade. Then one more trade. Oh, let me back up here. 853 long was right here. Then we took some heat on that trade. Then I had the trigger here, and I took another contract that got long at 12,855. So I ended up two contracts on this trade. One at 853, one at 855. I took the 853 entry off at 860 and brought the 855 entry here to break even, and it was stopped out at break even. Here we are at the next trade I took, and it was a trigger entry, but I bought a pullback here. The trigger entry price was actually 862. I bought the pullback at 12,858 because I knew my stop was going to be 12,848 on this trade, and I didn't want to risk more than 10 points. Again, this was with one contract, so I got a fill at 12,858, and then as you can see, price rolled over and stopped us out at 12,848. This was our next trade, and again, it was a with a trigger and a breakout of this little pivot that had formed right before the trigger fired. We got short at 12,839, and this is a trade I'm kicking myself for. I got short. And again, 2 minutes later, we were still chopping around there, around the break-even mark, and I ended up taking us out of that trade at 12,839. As you could see, very shortly after we got out of that trade at break-even, I actually did that after we'd gotten to 12,833, 6 points potential profit, and it turned around and stopped us out, and then price broke lower. So that would have been a very nice short trade, and I just stuck with it. So break even on that trade, and I only have two more to show you. The next trade was at 814. And we got short. It was 814 on the East Coast here. 12,808. 2 point break of this pivot here, and 1 point below the pivot that had been formed right here. So took it at 12,808 short. It was a breakout trade. It was not a trigger trade, and we were stopped out at 12,818 at a 10 point stop on that. So we got stopped out at 12,818 and should have reversed here, as you can see. Beautiful run up here on this long trigger that unfortunately we did not take. So I ended up minus 10 points on that trade. And this is the last trade that I will torture you with today. Along at 12, I'm sorry, that's 848. There, I changed that to the correct number. We got long at 12,848. And again, it was a trigger trade with a break of the little pivot that had formed right before the pivot of the trigger fired. I took that with two contracts. And ended up taking one off at 12,853, 5 points, and then, as you can see, price rolled over and stopped us out break even on the next contract. So not a great day of trading 2, 2, and 3, minus 8 net points on the Dow here. Everyone have a great evening, and look forward to posting our trading results after the end of trading tomorrow. Again, Art Dill for FuturesTradingCompany.net.